Hi, welcome back. So this is an overview of conscious discipline number 7, and it highlights choices. I think this is actually a really interesting conscious discipline video because I have a lot of experience with this method. Professor Sheffield oftentimes would speak about this particular situation when dealing with her nephew. Her nephew wouldn't want to, get ready for school, or it would always be a battle what he was going to wear to school. And so in that case, she gave him 2 choices. They were still her choices. She still had the control over the situation, but she made him feel like he had a little bit of power and a little bit of say in that department. And getting ready for school in the morning was a lot smoother of a transition because he felt like the power was in his hands versus being forced to do something. I feel like we see that in our daily lives. If you're told you have to do something or something's required, you probably procrastinate or you don't want to do it, you push it off. But if somebody gives you the opportunity to kind of do it for yourself, put that resource out there, sometimes you make that decision for yourself. You're like, oh, yeah, this might be a good idea. But you have it in your head that you made that decision. Somebody else didn't make that decision for you. And, things that we do in our lives, we kind of have to take that and see that and use that with children, I feel like, because, if they respond, very similar to how we would respond to certain situations and things. So just kind of offering like 2 choices, they can still be your choice. But at the end of the day, you're giving that power over to them just a little bit. The ICT also uses this in her classroom. Recently, the tables needed group names. And instead of making group names for them, she let them pick their group names. And in this situation, she didn't give them a choice between 2 options. She just kind of left it open. She might regret that a little bit now that, the tables are Power Rangers, Ninjas, Knuckles, Sonic, and there's one more. Anyway, you get the point. When she's calling small groups and she says, Knuckles, it's your turn. She kind of thinks back on that choice. But, giving them a word bank or something may have been a better decision for her. But she really liked just seeing how excited they were about, collaborating with the team and coming up with their own ideas. They really love it, so it works for her. But the other part of the question in this video was in regards to blame. And it's a big pet peeve of mine, as you know. I don't like tattletales. I don't like when kids come up and say that some other kid is doing something that has nothing to do with them. I liked how she went over, when they were like, Erica made me do it. And she's like, oh, was Erica the boss of you? And I actually used that in my classroom. Is that person in control of you? And just kind of asking that very honest, blunt question makes kids think about it. And they're like, no, I don't want Erica to be in charge of me. What do you mean? I don't want anybody to be in charge of me. I'm 6 years old. Why would anybody have control over what I do? But I really liked how she was just like, giving them the choice to kind of decide for themselves, is somebody else in charge of you? And if the answer is yes, well, why would you give her that kind of control over you? And then it requires them to do some, pretty critical thinking at their age. And, maybe next time she asks, the answer wouldn't be the same. I really like that part of the video. It just kind of gives me a little bit a couple more strategies in the classroom as far as, when a student comes up and they're like, well, Parker was doing it. Well, okay, so is that what you're supposed to be doing? Is typically my response, but I like that she kind of gave a good, solid answer of, well, I can use that and say, well, is Parker in charge of you? And so I really like that about the video. And this video was a little repetitive, I will be honest. I kind of feel like this is also a review of these videos now that I'm doing videos for you and kind of reflecting back. This video is a little bit repetitive, but I sat through it. We made it through, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It went over concepts that I was very familiar with, so that might be why it felt repetitive, but hopefully that answers the questions, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.